Welcome to the Positive Engagement and Economic Power of Kindness, aka PPOC Pep Talk, sharing insights, wisdom, and tips from leaders around the world to enhance your personal and professional lives. I am your host, Randy McNeely, the kindness giver and Chief Kindness Officer for the PPOC Institute. I invite you to get a pen and paper for notes and be ready to learn. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Yes, so it's a relaxed, alert, focused concentration. So you can imagine if you do this first thing in the morning, even before you get off the bed. Whoa, you're laser focused. Whatever that doesn't serve you, you have already let it go. You have activated all the acupuncture points in your body. You know what is your intention, your deep contribution to the world today, who you are showing up today. You're ready to rock and roll. And first and one of the most important part is what I love about HeARTation Pulse is you start the day by appreciating yourself. I mean, besides the first question, which is what are you grateful for, you also end the HeARTation Pulse showing gratitude and appreciation for yourself first before anything else, being kind to yourself. And then now you're ready to be kind to other people because you've set that tone, that you have already set that energy in your body and in your mind.
Oh, that's great. I say it relaxed me because it's late at night here now.
Yes.
I could just kick back and go to sleep now. No, this is great. Tell me about, you keep using the term HeARTation. What does that mean?
So the whole HeARTation came into my life in a pretty amazing way. In the end of the third quarter of last year, I was quite burnt out, as you know, Randy, that, I was so almost obsessed, I think, with supporting other people's well-being. I was doing Facebook Live and I was, doing our Be Well series. We had Super Monday where we talk about character strengths, Resilient Wednesday where I interview resilient people, and then Friday was a Well-being Friday with tips that you can use for your well-being. And it was every week, it was relentless on top of other stuff, other interviews that I was conducting. And then I launched She Network. It was really insane. I was so burnt out taking care of other people's well-being. So at the end of the third quarter, I decided to withdraw and place my own well-being as a priority, as a change. So I started to explore, discover, activated my top superpower of love of learning and curiosity, trying to find a way to find techniques that is practical that I can use to take care of myself, because I felt so burnt out and I was also suffering from anxiety. Just like everyone else, it was a very difficult time. It's I think safe to say that everyone was suffering from PTSD last year in some form or shape, right? Everyone was anxious. So in my effort to learn more well-being techniques, which I did, and to try to come back to my own equilibrium, I was exposed to a world of new and simple ways to care for oneself. So it worked beautifully for me. I've never felt more confident, to be honest, about taking care of my own mental health, because it's a very specific techniques, just like what you've seen in HeARTation Pulse. HeARTation Pulse, let's face it, is nothing original. It's just a combination of techniques that really work for me, that I plug and I put it into that it's holistic, it's embodied, it's body, mind, spirit kind of a method that anyone can use. So simple that took us less than 5 minutes, but you will feel you are in a different space the moment you open your eyes from when you first went into a HeARTation Pulse. So coming from a place of wanting to take care of my own well-being, this learning, it started to become a desire to, like, hey, why don't we share this with other people? And so this unexpected labor of love became the creation of the HeARTation framework. And then when I asked myself, after my meditation retreat, which, Randy, as you know, I've been to 2 in 2 months, 10 days Vipassana meditation retreat. I am definitely somewhat different, never the same again. I'm the same and yet not the same. But it is the retreat that also cement in me the conviction and the certainty that, yes, this is what I'm meant to do moving forward. So the vision of the HeARTation program is to ignite 1 million hearts for peak performance and joyful living. the name of the game really is sustainable well-being, because when you have that, you can achieve anything you want in the world. That's where the peak performance comes in. But at the end of the day, we should not get lost, I think, in being fixated with peak performance. It's really all about joyful living. It's not so much about just achieving things for the sake of achieving things. At the end of the day, what we all crave for is really meaning. So the HeARTation framework has 4 core elements that we call jewels of joy, because that was the word that came to me after meditation. So I'm kind of just following instruction. So the 4 jewels of joy are, firstly, character strengths, of course, self-compassion, mindfulness, and heart-brain coherence. So again, we think about HeARTation pulse, it makes sense, isn't it? We're aligning everything. It will also be supported by other things in my play box that I love, that has served me well. So HeARTation framework, besides the 4 core elements, jewels of joy, is also supported by breath work, because breath work is like my latest amazing tool that I found that was so powerful during the last quarter of last year. And of course, hypnosis. And there is one other secret ingredient that we reveal in a HeARTation training. So it's not just the 4 core elements. Can you imagine? It's also supported. I will teach you breath work. I will teach you self-hypnosis and one other ingredient. So so that's pretty much how HeARTation came into being. It was really like a accidental. I was just trying to find a solution for myself and evolve into something that I can carry forward as my work. So I feel really blessed to start the year this way, launching HeARTation.
Well, so you were working hard to find ways to help yourself, to overcome
Yes.
anxiety, found some great methods, and now you want to share them. Want to
Yes.
share them with other people. Well, that's great. And so you created your framework, and you supported last year. You did a lot of activities where you're supporting everyone's well-being with your Be Well Facebook Live programs, your was it Supermon on strengths, or Super
Yes.
Monday on strengths, and then a Resilient Wednesday and Self-Care Friday, all those things that you said that ended up leading to your being burned out. What are you doing
Yes.
this year to take care of yourself and to help other people take care of themselves?
So I think there's great value in self-awareness. So I did the Facebook Live because it felt like there wasn't much option, because it was locked down. There was no way I could continue my work if I were not to go on Facebook Live. But the reality is I'm not a fan, and many people find it shocking, but I'm actually an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. I'm trained. I trained myself to be an extrovert because I used to be a professional dancer, and but I am able to segment that in my head, like, okay, showtime, and I just become this person because of my deep love for dancing. But other than that, I'm still an introvert. I'd rather be left alone. So you can imagine how challenging it was for me to even make myself do Facebook Live. And I was doing like sometimes 6 times a week. It was actually draining me, and that's why I was so burnt out. But I just remembered my purpose, and it gave me meaning. I really wanted to step up because it was, it was a time of emergency for humankind, and I wanted to do my part. But it was clearly not sustainable, because 9 months of that, after that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm so exhausted. And the reality was, it's not my natural character strengths that I was tapping on. I was learning a skill, but this skill doesn't energize me. And as a strengths coach, I know more better than anyone that you need to use your strengths, because that is what is energizing. It renews itself. It's a upward
Yeah,
spiral.
it's
You want to do more of it.
self-perpetuating.
Yes, so I can't like be a strengths coach and then I'm doing things that basically doesn't reflect strengths-based living. So having that self-awareness and I did what I had to do anyway last year, but I feel like, okay, what is a better way to do things this year? Because I'm not so crazy about doing more Facebook Live this year. I'm like, let's minimize it as much as possible. I'm willing to show up, but not at like 6 times a week the way I did last year. That was a little bit of an insanity out there. So then I decided when I meditated and this inspiration came to me, do 7 days challenge.